Welcome to the Shit Slinky Made Me Watch. I'm your host, KC, here with another shitty review about shitty horror films recommended by that sumbitch Slinky. Here to talk to you about Bloody Murder. It was released in the year 2000, and this one opens up with a couple running out of gas. And while on the way to fill up this gas can, he runs into this horrible wannabe Jason with like horrible body movement. He's definitely no Kane Hodder. Just his movements were just like very shitty. His arms are just like wailing back and forth with this chainsaw. But eventually, this guy does get killed. But all you really hear is a bunch of screaming. There's nobody killed on screen. No blood, no nothing. Just all you hear is a bunch of screaming, which was just very dumb. For a slasher film, you want to see somebody getting cut or stabbed or gashed or gutted. You want to know they're not in the union no more. You don't just want to hear a bunch of screaming and then it just cuts to the next scene. But this killer, his name was Trevor Morehouse. And basically, there's a backstory given at this campfire, very similar to Friday the 13th. This movie rips off Friday the 13th left and right throughout the entire movie. The name of the camp was Camp Placid Pines, so they didn't like really rip off the Camp Crystal Lake name, but like I was saying, throughout the whole movie, it's all a lot of Friday the 13th callbacks or rip-offs just throughout the entire thing. But once they arrive at this camp to finally meet up with their boss, it just seems just like Friday the 13th on the original, how that one started once they all got to the camp. This one throughout the whole movie, like I was saying, just one copy after another of Friday the 13th. They were not original at all. Besides the killer used a chainsaw instead of a machete. Besides that, there's not a whole lot of differences. Besides, this movie really sucked in comparison to Friday the 13th. There was a pretty dumb scene where a couple go into this walk-in fridge, and on the outside there's a sign that does say that it locks from the inside, but clearly you can see this little thing you just push on and it unlocks the door. So they should have paid a little more attention to the door, or somehow tried to block that in the scene or something. It just didn't make sense to have a sign that it says locks from the inside where you can clearly just see, you just push it open. And then, surprise, surprise, we even have a ripoff of Crazy Ralph. Once again, ripping Friday the 13th off left and right. But it just didn't work out well for this movie at all. Damn! I guess it's time for the shit break. Now, if you don't know what the shit break is, this is where we take a quick break in the show to allow you to get your comments onto the show. All you have to do is comment on the discussion thread in our Facebook group, Horror After Midnight, and you'll get your thoughts onto the show. Also, there is a weekly giveaway contest. All you have to do is comment on this video below with the hashtag shitbreak. The more comments, the more chances to win. You'll be basically entered to a chance to win all kinds of different prizes, action figures, movies, merch from the channel, all kinds of cool things. So be sure to comment below, hashtag shitbreak. Now, for the comments from the discussion thread, we had Aaron Garcia. He said that I would see this at my local Blockbuster, but it was always rented out. I really need to see this. And then we had Steven Corso. Probably really shitty. Looks like a Jason ripoff, and they were shitty. Yes, Steven, this movie is 100% a Jason ripoff, and a really shitty one at that. Then we had Derek Huey. It's so bad. I could never finish it back in the day, and all I watched was horror. I agree. If it wasn't for me having to review it for this show, I would have never watched it willingly at all. Just, Slinky's just such a dick. He always makes me watch all these terrible movies. Then we had Andrea Wright. I own this trash and part two as well. I'm sorry for that. I own a lot of shitty movies too, so don't feel bad. David Mace, also, I own both parts of the series, but I enjoyed part two more. I hope part two is a lot better, because this one was terrible. Now let's get back to the show. But there was a pretty bitchin' campfire. I will say that they do know how to make a fire in this movie. It's one thing they did very well. But that's about all they did that was good at all in this entire flick. While watching a horror film, one of the girls ends up going looking for snacks and ends up getting killed. Once again, off screen, but there was blood on the floor this time. Once again, you don't see anyone getting stabbed or anything at all, so that part they really lacked in this movie. They should have shown more. Just A little bit of blood on the floor does not do it. Like this is a slasher. Show more. Simple, plain as that. Just if you're gonna make a slasher film, even if it's low budget, you still need to see somebody getting stabbed, cut, something. Later on, while smoking a joint, one of the girls tells the other that her toes are beautiful, but these toes actually look like, I don't know, something like hobbit feet, just like super hairy looking, but possibly could have just been sunburned. I don't know. It's the video quality. I couldn't really tell if they were hairy or burnt. Either way, they were not beautiful at all. And once again, another Friday 13th ripoff. While one of the people was there setting up the archery range, there's another kill. This time you actually do see them getting shot with bow and arrow. That was kind of decent to at least see one kill actually on screen. A little bit later on, there was a conversation with a few of the people there, basically talking about how this guy's there named Jason might possibly be the killer. Basically, they were not even trying to hide the fact they were ripping off Friday the 13th. For this movie, the acting was pretty bad. The special effects, there almost weren't any at all, other than the archery range kill. So overall, for this one, I have to give it one shit stain. Case says, check it out. I'll be back next time to talk to you about Bloody Murder Part 2. As always, I'll see you guys next time. Stay classy, folks.